And this one can actually go through grates. So it will go through here and through the grate. So it will actually open the dungeon door. Hey everyone, there's Athagos, and today I got another playthrough for you, and that's for Paperbag Dungeon, Mind the Mushrooms. You may remember that I already recorded a playthrough for Paperbag Dungeon like 4 or 5 months ago, I think, and published that on the channel. A really cool little game where you, it's like a tableau building, puzzle building game where you build like up a little dungeon, and you need to try to somehow keep the monsters far enough away from the dungeon door so that they don't escape. And now there is a standalone expansion. That's pretty cool because it is standalone, right? You can just play this small version here, or you can combine it with Paperbag Dungeon and maybe also with other upcoming expansions in case there are any. I don't have any information on that yet. So that is a pretty cool thing. So what we will do today is, because you already know the base game, I will put that aside. And today we will be playing with the standalone expansion, Mind the Mushrooms. It makes for a smaller game, but that's pretty cool because you have a smaller package, you have a smaller table space you need. It's also a quicker game than if you take the base game. So if you just want to have a quicker one, also there are now mushrooms also on the cards that have another effect. So I think I will not do a montage today because this game is incredibly quick to set up. So in essence, you just shuffle the cards. You almost shuffled the cards. Sorry, my mistake. First, of course, you take the one dungeon door you have, you put it someplace. I will just put it up here, and then you will just shuffle the cards. You will turn a few of them 180 degrees, and then shuffle everything here like this. And then you will put 2 cards aside for the vault, right? So I'll put 1 card here, for example, and then let's take this one here. These 2 cards for the vault, put them aside, and the rest is shuffled already. Let me just give them another quick shuffle. Why not? Like that. And that's already it, right? That is the setup of the game. Here's our dungeon door. We must try not to let monsters escape there. And there are quite a few different things on the cards that can do things, right? So just as a reminder, there are 2 phases. We have the regular building phase where we just take 1 card and put it in the dungeon. Alternatively, we can also exchange it for a card in the vault and then place it there, except if we drew a monster card. And then we have the flip phase. We can flip either a card with a gem, so we have one here upcoming already, or we can spend one of our vault cards that is then gone forever, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then flip a card. That can be important for like sealing specific routes, so the monsters can't get through, right? So that is one thing that we can try to do here. And I will explain everything else that we will place here as we go. So we already have these Goblin Guardians here. These are not triggered by any Goblin effects. Goblin effects means if I flip a card with a Goblin, then I need to flip all cards with a Goblin, right? And any Goblins that are adjacent to these Goblin Guardians are not triggered by that effect. So, and then we continue here. So we have these mushrooms. The mushrooms are a new thing that we have in the game here. What they do is whenever I flip a card with a mushroom, I also need to flip a card, like all adjacent mushroom cards, right? So it's kind of bad that I drew them now because you see there are mushrooms also here on this card. So if I've ever flipped this card, I also need to flip that one. That is not all too great, to be honest, but let me just put that here for now. Okay, then we have another card. Here, this card actually is a monster card, right? Monster cards need to be placed in the dungeon too, face up, so they can actually leave the dungeon. This one I will not place yet because the first 6 rounds we don't place any monster cards. That would be a little bit too tough. Here we have a door that is open, so monsters can get through. If it weren't open, monsters couldn't get through. And we have a hatch that is closed. Monsters can also go through hatches, right? So let me just continue here for now. That is fine because, well, we could flip that one later on maybe, right? So it might be actually a good idea to maybe put that on this side, like this. Okay. And then let's continue. Oh, here are a lot of different pathways. I don't like that too much. So we put that behind the grate. Like that, maybe. There we go. Okay. So here we have another grate. That is not too bad. So we can maybe seal it off a little bit here. Let me just go over here, I think. Yeah. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. That is another monster. But we haven't played 6 rounds yet, so these monsters are all put to the bottom. Here's another card. This card only has mushrooms again. So that is nice. So let me maybe put that right here. I think right here it's good. Let me just turn it around so I can actually put it here. So cards can overlap these hashed areas. They can overlap, right? So, okay, here's another monster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is a little bit too early. And then here we have another card. So we have kind of sealed off this one. And this one we haven't sealed off here yet. Oh, and there will be a monster coming. Okay, so when we draw a monster face up, we need to put it as far away from the dungeon. And if it is face down, then we need to put it closer to the dungeon. So this one we will put far away. And this one can go through doors. I mean, they are all opened anyways, but it can't go through grates. So I want to put it here, but this is not the farthest from the dungeon yet. So I will put this card over here, just so that this card, now the monster, we put it as far away from the dungeon, and that is now this route here, right? So, and now this monster, now we trace, from the monster we trace a path to the dungeon door, and we see there's a grate. So the monster can't get in, it only can go through doors, right? Okay, so we are fine here. There's a door. That is pretty good because we haven't sealed off this here yet. So I will seal off this way here. So here we have a door, here we grate, and here we have another grate. So all three pathways are now kind of sealed off, but it depends on what we draw here, right? But so far we are doing okay. Okay, so this one is just another gem. I don't, where do I want to put the gem? I don't want to put it beside any other mushrooms, right? Because adjacent mushroom cards would also be flipped over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this is the shortest path here. Okay, so and this is interesting here. These are these hatches here, right? So we already have a hatch there. And that's it. And then this hatch here. Like this hatch is open now, and all monsters can go through this hatch and emerge from another one. So if I ever turn over this card, then a monster can go through this hatch and then through this one. That's interesting. So what I will do now is, here's another grate, right? So what I will do, I will put this one over here, because this pathway now doesn't matter at all, because this one has a grate and a door. And there are no monsters that can go through both, as far as I know. Okay, here we have a goblin, right? I already told you, if I flip a goblin card, then I flip all other cards as well. What I will do is... Can I put this here? Yeah, these are all hashed spaces. So hashed spaces can overlap, as I said, right? Don't mind the short spells in case you can hear them. So, and here is now another monster. And this monster is face down, right? We have to play it face up, but we have to put it as close to the dungeon as possible because it is face down. That's just the rule. And the closest, like the shortest pathway is this one here with 2 cards. So here you see we have like a mushroom monster that cannot go through any grates or anything. So we are still doing okay here. So I'm going to just put let me just put it here like that. Okay, here's another monster. This one is face up actually. These rats, and they can go through grates because you can see they are going through those grates here, right? So I need to put them as far away from the dungeon as possible. That is good because that is this pathway here, right? Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and 3 cards. Yeah, and that is good because here we have a door. So these mice can actually go through this grate here, but they cannot go through this door. So that is good. So let me just put them down here. You can't really see them on camera now, but I mean, they're not... well, let me just pull everything up just a little bit like that. I think like that it's fine. and then you can see the card almost completely. We're almost through. We still have 4 cards left. There's another monster that we have to put as far away as possible, and that one can't do anything else either. That is just a regular monster, so I will just put that here. Then here we have another monster face down, so we have to put it as close to the dungeon as possible. That is here. So let's hope that's not a monster that can go through a grate. No, it can't. But that is interesting now. You see there's another hatch, right? So we'll just put that here for now. And you see there's another hatch. So this monster can now go into this hatch and emerge from this hatch. But still there is everything locked off, so the monster can't go through there, right? So that is pretty good. So we're quite lucky here. And otherwise the monster can't go through this grate. This monster can't go through the grate either. This one can't go through the grate either. This one can't, and this one can get through the grate, but not through the door, and this one can't do anything. So we are fine. Now we still have the 2 vault cards, right? We will also build those. So we have a card here that is the end of the round, of a route, so to speak. So let me just, I don't know, maybe just close off. It doesn't really matter. Let me just close off that one here. And then, let me just close off. Let's close off here. And then we have the last card here, which is also a monster. We need to put that as close to the dungeon as... Oh no, that's not a monster. Yeah, it is a monster. Yeah, it is. I just saw that the skull looks different. So this monster actually we need to put as close to the dungeon as possible to the exit. And that is 2, 4... That is here. And this one can actually go through the grate. Oh no! So we put this one here. We put this one here, right? And this one can actually go through grate. So it will go through here and through the grate. So it will actually open the dungeon door. Oh. And that, as far as I know, I mean, that is now the end of the game because we build all cards, right? So either you build all cards or you build the perfect dungeon, which means sealing off all, sealing off everything, that you can't place a card anymore, right? So that is the 2 ways to win the game. And we built all the cards and the monster opened the door. Had we one more turn, right, then we would probably lose because the monster would reach the dungeon door again, and now it is already open, so it can't open it, so it will escape, and then we would lose. But I think we just won because before that can happen, we build all the cards. So I think we actually won the game, which is really good. But it was really close, right? Just one more turn, and we probably would have lost because I think I couldn't have done anything. Well, I probably could have turned over that card, right? So I could probably spend my gem here, but then I would have to turn over that card as well, which would be okay, and that one and that one. So right, let me spend this. If I spent this gem, then I can turn it over. I would have turned over that one, and that one, and then I could have turned over this one, and then I think we would have been fine. So I still could have won, I think, but that was really close. All right. So that was my playthrough of the expansion Mind the Mushrooms for Paperbag Dungeon, a game that I already played through on my channel. If you're interested in getting the game, you can actually get it on GameCrafter, right? I will link to it in the description, and then you can get Paperbag Dungeon as well as the expansion for yourself, in case you'd like to try out the game for yourself, right? And I definitely suggest it in case you liked what you see here, because it's a really solid and very interesting and unique game. So if you enjoyed this, why don't you also check out the other video that is a little bit older, but it's still really interesting because they are actually built, the dungeon is a little bit bigger there, I think. Right, that was it. So I hope you enjoyed my playthrough. Thank you very much for watching, in case you're still doing so. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you let me know by liking and commenting. You can also subscribe to my channel if you like more of my videos, or you want to keep up to date with what I will publish in the future. And if you want to hang out with me and my community, you can also join my Discord server. I'd love to welcome you over there. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Alright, take care everyone, and cheers.